Hello everybody, welcome to Andrew Broussard Watercolors. Today I'm going to be doing a fast and loose landscape painting in oils. I have out some Williamsburg's paint. We have yellow ochre, sap green, ultramarine, and red ochre. I'm going to mainly focus on a mixture of the red ochre and the sap green, kind of in the style of Stuart Davies and Dennis Sheehan, to kind of make a fast and loose tonalist approach. I also have ivory blackout, and I also have flake white. With the way my camera is situated, this is the closest I could get to it, so hopefully it shows good and there's no real reflection issues. So I'm going to mix these two, the red ochre and the sap green. And this will give me, and I'm sorry, I didn't mention my medium, Galkid. I'm going to use these two colors to kind of map out and make up my scene. I think I have a slight idea what I want to do, and I'm just going to kind of play around and push this paint around, and we'll see what happens. This board, this is ampersand gesso board, 5x7. And I believe you can get it at Hobby Lobby, Blick.com. You can also find it at Jerry's Artorama. I believe they have it as well. I think I want some background trees in the distance. Then I'm going to have some extreme foreground trees. Put some pigment up here in the sky. And I'm going to push it around with this paper towel. So it's going to get pretty intense, where I'll be going back and forth, wiping and scrubbing. And I'm using this to create textures and textures and tonal values. The two artists that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Dennis Sheehan and Stuart Davies. Dennis Sheehan has a lot of videos up on YouTube on this style. He actually started doing, was it Skype, I think? Skype tutorials. So he's somebody you would definitely want to check out if you like this kind of fast and loose beginner oil painting approach. Dennis Sheehan has some videos up. I believe he has a lot of for pay videos as well, but he's very, very talented. And another artist that uses this technique is David Usher, and he has free videos up and videos on his Patreon. So those are some artists to check out with it. And of course, I have the Patreon account if you ever want to support this channel. So I'm just pushing this paint around right now. I don't think this is so much something you can really follow along with, as because the spontaneity of it, but you could definitely have fun and get the general idea of what's taking place. You can also do this with watercolor, I found, and I have a lot of videos up using watercolor with this approach. I'm painting flat, so I'm having to hold the side of it, mainly so I could film. So I kind of have, so far it's kind of like a blasted, desolate landscape. And I'll play around with it, putting ideas in, putting textures, wiping back and forth. I had mentioned I'd wanted some background trees, but I want them to kind of fit the narrative. And while I do this, I'll kind of ramble about tonalism. American art movement, 1880s to 1920s America. The art movement continues today. It is the redheaded stepchild or stepbrother of the Impressionist movement, which was happening concurrently. Impressionism, you can see the brush strokes, high key, all that. Tonalism, I guess you'd call it low key, or there wasn't a big variety in the key that it is in, where they're very close and everything's very moody and drawn together, but you can still see brush strokes and texture. It came out of the Hudson River Valley movement of America, and it was also influenced by the Barbizon painters of France. Hudson River Valley America was the broad scenery and vistas painted to perfection. Tonalism was the kind of quiet respite, sunrises, sunsets. Unfortunately, some people only limit it to sunrises and sunsets. So you want to kind of open your view to a wider idea of that. But that's kind of tonalism in a nutshell. Kind of just pushing this paint back and forth, getting an idea of what I want this far distant to look like. Wiping back to that gesso board. And then coming back with brush strokes and texture. I also think that I might actually put some color in the sky with this one, so it's not going to be so much of a grisaille, I believe is the term, which was the underpainting for an oil painting, where it's kind of monochromatic or burnt umber-ish. This will be that with kind of color invoked. Maybe a little bit. Want some tall trees. I'm just taking that, I'm just streaking it down right now, and I'll help it sit in place better in a moment. Trying to get spontaneity and movement and emotion in it to make it seem natural. And I can come back and dab with the paper towel and texturize it. This is one of those shop rags, blue from the automotive section. I like them for art. I do need to maybe branch out and try some like classic paper towels. And the reason I say that is I'm wondering whether or not, I have a little glare in the corner on the camera here. Let me see if I can move that. Okay, so I'm going to move it over so you can see a little bit better. Just kind of like that texture that you get from it with dabbing. I think now I might start introducing and playing with other colors. Let's see. This is flake white. I'm going to mix that with my yellow ochre. Kind of spread that around back here. Just put it between these trees and soften that harshness. Let's grab a little bit of ultramarine. It's a lot of ultramarine. Try to spread that around. So I'm just putting a little bit of marks and emotion in the sky. Then I'm softening the thickness of the paint application with the paper towel. I'll grab a little bit of that lamp black. Mix that with that red ochre. I can mix with the ultramarine blue to get kind of a purplish. I'll use these for the underside, the darker side of these trees. And that is Harrison in a box. Background. The underside of these trees. And the foliage. I'm just trying to get that kind of dark effects. Ultramarine in it. And soften that. So it's just a going back and forth of texture and softening and creating the imaginary scene. I do feel like we need a little something here to stop the eye from going off the page. I'm going to build a little cropping of trees. And in this we could scrape, we can splatter. We can do different textures along the lines if we'd like. And bring a foreground element that's dark here to kind of framing device. All right. Let's see. It's very easy. Like, this is a very fun technique. It's very easy to go overboard. Because you keep wanting to go back and forth, mainly because it's just so much fun. But I'm thinking that we'll leave this one the way it is now, and you know, come back to it in a few days or a few weeks and glaze over it. I'm even thinking after I'm done filming this, I'm going to take some paintings and kind of film a little bit of glazing, see what I can do film-wise with that. Taking the paper towel just to put a little bit of texture. And we'll see. Okay, so we'll leave it there. This edge is a little harsh. All right, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think down below. Questions, comments, concerns, and I will talk to y'all soon. And, you know, please like, subscribe, follow. Have a great day. Bye.